and welcome back to another video. It's kind of inclement weather out. It's a little bit overcast, it's a little bit breezy, but it's actually the warmest it's been in months, and I thought what better way to celebrate that than to go for a lovely long walk. And recently I purchased a new camera. So this is the Olympus OMD Mark IV, and it's something that I've been wanting to buy for a very long time. As you know, I paint and draw a lot of wildlife, a lot of birds, and a lot of kind of nature, and I really wanted to take my own reference photos. Not exclusively, of course, I think that would be very difficult because I paint a lot of kind of rainforest creatures and things like that, so not exclusively, but I would like to start taking my own reference photos, and that was one of my goals this year, was basically to kind of up my own sources, and this was one way to do it. So I did treat myself to a new camera. I have two new lenses for it. I have kind of a zoom lens, so this will allow me to take shots of wildlife from afar, and I have kind of a very generic landscape mid-range lens here. So I thought they would be a good basis. I am going to save up and get a macro lens eventually, but that at the moment is not my priority. And so I thought, why not take this out? Let's go and take some reference photos, and let's just have a bit of a sketchbook day on a walk. So nearby is an RSPB nature reserve called St. Aidens, and I think I'm going to drive there. We're going to take some nice photos, and I'm going to sit and have a bit of a sketch whilst we're there. So I thought, why not bring you along and we'll go on this little sketchbook date together. So I'm going to pack my bag and we're going to head out and see what we can see. I really enjoyed going out on this walk and sketching trip. It was really fun to test out the new camera, and since this trip I did get two new lenses, a nice landscape manual lens and a macro lens, so I've been playing around with those since, but that I'll make another video where I use those two lenses. But this RSPB St. Aidens Reserve is a really beautiful place. It's very open, but there's a lot of lake areas and a lot of wild birds, so a lot of people come here to take photos and to bird watch, so it is the ideal place to test out the new camera. So as you can see here, I'll add snippets where I took some photos. I've not added all the photos because there were a lot, but I did manage to test out shooting birds closer up and birds at afar, even birds flying through the air, and I found it really easy to use. Yes, there's things I can learn. I'm still learning about aperture, you know, ISO, all of the different, you know, the three triangle that I need to learn how to use to kind of manipulate my photos and make sure that the colour balance, etc. is right. But I think for my first go I really managed to achieve quite a lot, and this trip was really lovely to get out in the fresh air. Now it's summer, now it's brighter in the evenings, it's nicer to get out, get some fresh air, get some serotonin to the brain, and just have a really nice relaxing time. So I really took the time to take a lot of photos, relax, walk along. This walk actually ended up taking quite many hours, and so we ended up leaving when it was sunset time, so you'll see a photo at the end where I took a photo of the sunset. But I managed to see a lot of birds. We've got a reed bunting, we've got long-tailed tits, geese, all the different varieties of ducks you can imagine, and also nice landscapes that I managed to take as well, which I thought was quite nice. So we have a nice range of reference photos here. Another new thing that I have is a viewfinder, an artist viewfinder, which is something I've not really used before, but I've seen quite a few artists use them and thought it would be really cool to try it out on this trip. So in amongst all my photography and setting up my tripod so that I can take the photos of the sun setting, I managed to use my viewfinder as well. So you'll see me use it in portrait and landscape formats. I don't think I judged my sizing correctly, so they're a little bit off, but I did manage to do a couple of thumbnail sketches of those, which you will see shortly as well, which aid me a little bit later on. But I'll let you watch the rest of the footage of me at St. Aidens, and then I'll come back in when I start doing the artwork. to the studio. This is actually the next day. I just feigned me coming back, trying to tell a story in these videos. I was able to refine some of my sketches and just add a little bit of colour to them. So as you can see here, I started using some Faber-Castell water-soluble pencils. They came free when I signed up to the SAA subscription, so I thought I'd best try them out. So I started adding some colour to my sketches. As you can see there, that's my landscape and my portrait viewfinder sketch, and just kind of loosely played around with the colour and just adding a little bit extra to the sketchbook. I found this particular reference that I added a snip earlier in the footage of this seagull standing above a no fishing sign quite funny, because obviously these seagulls would jump at the chance to catch a fish. So I thought I'd just do a quick sketch of that, again with these water-soluble pencils, and not being particularly accurate with colour or shape or anything. It's just merely adding some references into my sketchbook and just creating some sketches. You know, I tend to create really polished work in my sketchbook, and I'm really trying not to, so I really wanted this page to be as sketchy, really overlapping. I'm not being really conscious of creating the space around the sketchbook, and that was going to be the whole thing, was us going on this sketchbook day and just doing a bit of sketching. But I really felt the need to do some oil painting, and so we are jumping into a little bit of an oil painting. I am using an old canvas, so do apologise for the artwork that you briefly see underneath that I've tried to gesso over. I just wanted to reuse the canvas, but I wanted to do one of my thumbnails that I did using my artist viewfinder, and I was just really drawn to the colours of this one and wanted to do a really loose oil painting of it, and I feel like I achieved that. I tried not to overwork it. I think I probably did overwork it in some areas. It definitely could have been looser, but I think overall I managed to capture the scene, the colours, the vibrancy and the sun shining off the water and through the clouds. I think I managed to capture that quite well. But I am going to leave it there and let you watch the rest of this painting process, and I hope you don't mind that I added a painting into my sketchbook date with you, and I hope you enjoyed coming along and seeing some of the photography that I managed to capture. It's been really fun to try out, so thank you very much for watching and all of your support as always, and I will see you in the next video. bye.